Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone around the globe. Welcome to Hexnode Partner Summit 2021. I'm really delighted to be here today and speaking of, and I would really like to appreciate the Hexnode team for putting together such a wonderful event for all the partners, and this could be really helpful and insightful for everyone. So, the topic that I'd be speaking today is capacity building and digital collaboration post-COVID era for business expansion. But before I dive into this topic, I'd like to talk a bit about my company from which I belong. It's SCTI General Trading LLC. It's based in UAE, and we have been working in the education sector for a very long time, more than a decade or so. And our primary focus has been to introduce innovative, interactive technology within the market. And as such, we came across Hexnode because of this. We always believe in dynamic, innovative, latest trending technology to be in the market. And we felt that Hexnode is one of them, and we wanted to be one of the distributors, resellers for Hexnode in UAE, and give the people of UAE a chance to experience this wonderful services. A bit more about our company could not be complete without letting us all know about the CEO. Our CEO is Sonia Salim. She's Pakistani by residency, but she lives in Dubai. She's the UAE based, and she believes that the modern world is, working really hard. It's going with light of speed, and as such, we need to keep up with the modern pace and bring new innovative technology that could compete in the market, that could provide benefit, that could set trends up to the mark. So she's a really determined woman, and because of her, SCTI has reached heights in UAE and received many awards and icon awards, innovation awards as well. So all thanks to Sonia. As you see on the screen, myself, Gibran, I'm the executive director of SCTI General Trading, and because of this particular reason, I have been invited to become a speaker on Hexnode Partner Summit. And obviously, because of my experience in the digital world, I've been, as you can see, my quotation would signify that I believe in equity instead of equality, because with equity in the market, equity in the competitive market of today's modern post-COVID era, we will be able to meet all challenges that are put forth to us because of COVID. So, it's important for us to look at the concept of equity and actually practice that instead of promoting equality right now. Moving on, a bit about SCTI and Hexnode partnership. We've been in collaboration with Hexnode for about 3 years now, and SCTI has been the primary solution provider for reseller for Hexnode in the Middle East. We've been promoting Hexnode for a long time, getting it reached to the end clients, to corporate clients, to government clients, and to other stakeholders. We have a certain set of team, about 3 to 5 people, actively working only and significantly on promoting Hexnode in the Middle East, in the region, and also in Pakistan. As you can see, that SCTI has done a wonderful job to size impact for Hexnode in the Middle East and Pakistan. We've worked really hard. We've made sure that we give our best and put forward the best foot. And we've carried out extensive trainings, virtual trainings with Hexnode and alongside with Hexnode for our clients, for them to understand Hexnode, to believe in Hexnode, to get familiarized with Hexnode, and to accept it in the first place. So, how did we, manage to promote Hexnode in Middle East and Pakistan is a big question. It's a big strategy question, and for that, I'd like to discuss a bit. As you can see, we adopted all practices, ATL, BTL, and hybrid, above the line, below the line, and hybrid practices. Among them was digital marketing. Digital marketing right now is the key essence of success in the market right now. What we believe is that if your digital marketing tactics are up to the mark, on point, you have a 90% of chance to engage all potential customers and get them where with your product, services, and in this case, Hexnode. So we used social media such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and etc. For creating a brand image, for creating a brand stability, brand establishment of Hexnode within the region as a local service provider. And for that, we were there to be the face of Hexnode and to provide all the services the local client needed. Then again, we did the search and optimization tactics. For this, we obviously, if you're not familiar, search engine optimize helps keywords you use to search different services, in this case Hexnode, to make Hexnode website pop up in the start. And so that we did this regionally, so that if some corporate client wants to look for a mobile device management, some corporate client wants to look for mobile device management services, they would probably hop onto our website and check out Hexnode and send us a query. And this was really important step as well. Then we also used mass emailing tactics to our regular clients, to our newspaper list listings, and we created lead generations via Facebook, LinkedIn, and through MailChimp. So these were some strategies that we combined together when we were executing digital marketing. Then lobbying. A lot of people ask what lobbying is. Lobbying, in my opinion, is one of the strongest traits for you to establish a brand and make sure it captures a market in the region. We got in touch with influential people, with people who were in the decision-making authority or were in a place to influence the decision-making people or create stakes within the market. And we promoted Hexnode. We made them understand what Hexnode is, how important it is for the market, how important it could be for the future generation, for the future of Middle East market, and how we can take control of the technology. So in a way, we kind of subconsciously planted different ideas related to Hexnode in a positive manner among the people who could in future form the real business aspect of Hexnode. Then we had a continuous help desk, or virtual help desk, and a physical help desk throughout our tenure since 3 years at our offices in UAE. Everyone could actively connect with us and discuss anything related to Hexnode, and we were also supported greatly with Hexnode support team. We could get everyone aligned at the same time and discuss on all possible support features that were there or question and answers. So help desk has been wonderful when it came to support providing. Then indirect influence. So what's indirect influence? Indirect influence is the use of references, word of mouth, clients, channel marketing. We used resellers, our long list of resellers for different product lines get aligned with us when we brought in Hexnode. So a lot of people, a lot of clients, when one client buys Hexnode, they talk about it, they give out reviews, they recommend their colleagues, they recommend their fellow companies. That's how we were able to establish the credibility of Hexnode and promote it and get awareness and obviously linkage within the market, especially in the education sector and the corporate sector. Then the print media, we as SETI have been always engaged with the print media. We use Emirati Business Magazine to promote ourselves. So in this case, what we did is we used the same platform for promoting Hexnode as MDM services that are available in the UAE, and they have local representation, so the clients do not have to worry about support. The clients don't have to worry about what will they do once things go wrong. If they go wrong, which is highly unlikely when it comes to Hexnode support because they're brilliant at it. So we use the print media as well. That was something to cater those clients who were more keen and who give more value to print media and feel that a certain thing is more legit when it is shown or it's printed on the print media. Moving on, more about merging the gap. So, Hexnode is a service which, if you don't understand it properly, you won't be able to get it. You won't be able to comprehend what the service is all about. So we bridge this gap by, creating content and setting up meetings in which we talk with the client in a layman language, which help them understand what Hexnode is, what the service is all about, and how they could make use of it, how they don't need to be technical enough to use the Hexnode services at its best. So we bridged that gap, which was really important, because when it comes to technology, people are afraid of change. People are afraid of adopting. People are afraid of being called out as to if they don't know a particular thing, they will feel less important. Or in certain cases, if it has to be at extreme, they feel useless. But this is what we did. We bridged the gap. We made them comfortable when it came to technology, and in this case, Hexnode. Then policy level change. So we always believe that if you need to implement something at a mass level, it has to be done at a strategic policy level. So we got into through by lobbying and by connecting with government people who were influencers. We tried to influence the policy makers to bring in a policy that would support the services of Hexnode and likes, so that Hexnode could have a better chance of capturing the market at a ground level and create a hegemony. Regional target engagement. Again, we last year due to COVID, we plan on bringing in live streaming shoutouts from the Hexnode team itself, from ourselves, from our clients, so that people could engage with us, people could relate with us, people could believe that we're still there, we are there to help them out. The basic objective was to get them connected. So regional target engagement was really important because, a lot of content is already there, but it's so generic that it's for the globe. So when you have a content that addresses the local regional market itself, that's when people feel connected. That's when people feel owned. That's when people feel this is our brand. This is something that we should go for. So the question is, why do all this? What's the benefit? So the long-term objectives, in my opinion, and my company's opinion, is to, if we adopt these strategies, the digital marketing, the lobbying, the policy change, we are there to establish Hexnode as a credible brand in the UAE and Pakistani market. We are getting them credible. We are making people aware that Hexnode exists. It's a local service provider. There's all the support they needed. There's a brand that they can trust, and that's a brand that's popular, that's familiar, that they can adopt. And in this, as such, they will feel more, easy and more open to transit themselves towards Hexnode. They will feel Hexnode, more easy to adopt, and obviously that increases acceptability itself. What's the ultimate result? Ultimate result for every business is to get increased queries, lead conversions, sales, revenue, increased market share, market dominance, leading to hegemony. I believe the last point, market dominance leading to hegemony, is the key point. When we have increased sales, increased queries, lead generation conversions, increased market share, we can go. If we keep on working at the right time, we keep on working at the right path, follow the right roadmap, we can get Hexnode to become the hegemonic presence in the UAE and Pakistani market. So that's the ultimate result. That's something that we should all strive for in our regions. Moving on. So capacity building and digital collaboration in the post-COVID era. What I mean here is not just the capacity building when we say just getting training. What I mean is, when your employee is the biggest innovative asset a company could ever have. If you have an employee who's skillful, who's effective, who's communicative, who is, confident, trust me, your company will reach the highest levels as fast as is good. I mean, it's great to have good promotions, good marketing skills, but your product or service is as good as your employee. Your employee is your major asset. The HR is your asset to improving the performance of your company in terms of every aspect, not just sales, business expansion, market share, promotions, quality services, quality assurances, quality management systems, support systems, life supports. All of them are bound on employee. Even when it comes to automation, employees, HR is there. Someone has to automate the process if it has to be automated. So what you need to do is you need to analyze your company and your HR. What are their weaknesses and their strengths? You need to find those out, and you need to find out ways how to cater them. If there are weaknesses, what weaknesses are theirs, whether they are soft weaknesses, whether they're hard weaknesses, whether they require training, courses, certifications, skill sets, improvements, capacity building, webinars, workshops. You need to get those done. These implementations will help you improve the quality that your employees put forth and improve the performance of your employees, hence the performance of your company. So once you do that, do a quarterly evaluation as to what you did, how it affected how it was before the implementation and how it is now after the implementation, what further steps you require to further improve and further make changes to get the performance even better now. So the market for future ready skills, we need to understand that COVID has brought forward, brought forth a lot of challenges, which include when it comes to an employee working from home, they are working from a remote area, they need to be digitally literate. They need to be able to communicate using the tools for remote services to be able to communicate what they want, what they are selling, what they're providing as a support, or what they about in the internal meetings or external meetings and channel marketing. If the employee is not digitally literate, they don't know how to use the tools effectively, they don't know how to communicate effectively, then you or your company is at a crisis. No product, no service could sell if your employee is unable to communicate and use the market ready skills right now after COVID to be to communicate, to get through to the client and make them comfortable via virtual meetings, via virtual webinars, via virtual emails. That's really important. So digital literacy is there, communication skills, office ready skills for work from home is really important. Virtual presentation skills, PowerPoint, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, different softwares that you need to use to communicate and present to your clients and get through to them and convince them. Then another thing that's really important is the neuro linguistic programming training. You need to get your HR, the NLP trainings, and guide them for them to be able to confidently work from home without facing isolation challenges, without facing depression, without facing different key issues that are the major obstacles when it comes to working from remote areas or work from home. So if you do this, we all know that the world is going towards the remote working and working from home concept, and it's adopting it openly. Facebook, Google, different other organizations have permanently set up many of the employees to work from home. Why? Because they know it is doable, it's possible. All that needs is a proper systemized quality management solution. They need to look after the employees, give them the right skill sets, equip them with the right skill set, and have a systematic way of running things. Then your employee also needs to understand entrepreneurship. If your employee feels like an employee, they will only work like an employee. So if you, what I mean over here, it sounds really cliche, but what I mean over here is that if your employee has a thinking of creating more and more profit, more how and best they could provide for the company, that's the entrepreneurial mindset that will come in. They will not feel as an employee, as someone working for the company. They will feel as a stakeholder of the company. They will feel that if they succeed, the company will succeed, and in the end, it will be beneficial for them. So they need to have the ID skills, the digital marketing skills, the digital literacy, the communication skills. These skills are the most important things that an employee must have in the current COVID era. If your company were to succeed, and if your company really relies on your employees, on our employees, if the company, if your or my company relies on the employees, they need to be equipped with the future ready skills. They need to be, their capacity building should be increased. They need to be trained. They need to be having an entrepreneurial mindset, which will give them independence, which will which will rid them from the barriers of always looking towards the seniors, which is not a bad thing, but some things, some initiatives, some steps needs to be taken by the employee themselves to guarantee success. Some steps, some decisions need to be taken on spot. So they can only do that if they have the confidence. They can evaluate the situation. They can evaluate the position they are in, and then take that step. So the skills that are in front of the screen right now, sorry, are the most important. So please, when you're looking at your employee, take a note of these things, evaluate them, analyze them on this, implement needed skills, evaluate them after quarters, get feedback, create a report, and work accordingly, and you will see the difference. So why and how is it directly proportional to financial gains? I'm sure by my last discussion, my last slide, you got a pretty much good idea. So, when an employee is equipped with all the skill sets, you will automatically find increased productivity, performance, work uniformity in processes to reduce wastage, reduce supervision, which is excellent in nowadays, because no matter what you do, you cannot have complete supervision in the remote working concept, and you need to trust your employee. The employee needs to feel confident, independent, and the employee needs to feel responsible towards their duties and towards their company, and that's what brings loyalty, honesty, and hard work within an employee. So different this also improves the morale, the knowledge, the understanding of using the modern tools to best create a difference for the market, create sales, for business expansion, for it also creates a virtual workplace environment. Everyone knows what they have to do, how they have to do, when they have to do, and where, when what has to happen at what particular time. So they will all feel synced. Yeah, and if and when the COVID era ends, even if the employee comes back to the office, these things will only add on to the efficiency level of your company, to the efficiency levels of operations, administration, sales, marketing, promotions, expansions. So obviously, it will create an impact that will give a boost to your company, which is not yet seen. Results. What are the results of building an effective team? An effective team can increase, like I said, effective teams can increase lead generations, revenue generations to leads, to marketing, to promotions, to word of mouth, to even if separate people outside the company look at your employees, They will understand that your company has a certain set of standards, how you run your company, how you treat your employees. That will also increase the credibility of your company. Hence, people will feel more aligned, more accepted towards your product and your services, and they will feel that this is a company that we should connect ourselves with, whether as a client, as a supplier, as a partner, as a salesperson. All these things matter. Your employees are as important as your customer base, and how they interact can grow your business. It can be the deciding factor. It can mean the success and failure of your company at every aspect of the business. And the training will bring all the trainings that you will put forth for your employees will eventually convert into revenue generations later on, because they will exercise those trainings, do things that they've learned, and put it forth for when they will be actually in the practical market, in the actual market, and they will use those skills and will do the best out of that. And then obviously all these factors merge together, and in the end helps your business expand. It helps your business scale to greater numbers. Maybe some business has to expand from outside the country, some business has to expand outside the city, some business has to expand globally. So all these factors will directly affect the expansion of your business. That means that if you're, for example, selling Hexnode right now, and you need to expand yourselves, if your employees, if your HR, if your people working with you know how to effectively to use modern, competitive, required tools and skills to market themselves, market Hexnode, that means you are looking towards a successful, profitable expansion that could last, that could be stable, that could be mature, and that's what the whole thing is worth. That's the whole thing that's about, and that's worth it. So this is pretty much it. This is what I've been trying to convey. I mean, the whole presentation has been indirectly or directly been talking about the capacity building and how it's best to get your employees the future skills they need to indirectly or directly both affect your company in terms of sales, revenue generation, expansion. So yes, this is it, and I would once again like to say thank you to the Hexnode team for giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. Thank you all for listening to me, and I hope you take back some really good insights, some good pointers from this presentation. If you have any questions, queries, I'm here to answer your question, queries, and my contact details are given on the presentation. You can see it. If you need to collaborate with me in the future, if you need my help setting up some similar things that I've spoken about for your company, I'll be more than happy to discuss it and help you get on with it. Thank you so much, and best of luck to everyone that's watching this.